TLO, what's poppin'? We are on Twitch. We're not live, but you can leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK. Right behind me, you see it. Warning. Twitch.com is where you can catch a live stream. Usernames at the bottom. And we also got Patreon Monday through Sunday. Premier League highlights, TV shows, and movies. This is UK Town under siege. Machete gang run riot.
Today I'm in Bridgwater, one of the largest towns in the
Oh, my bad. Talk to me, Joe.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners.
Today I'm in Bridgwater, one of the largest towns in the county of Somerset. This once quiet market town now finds itself the most dangerous town in the region, with a crime rate 113% higher than the regional average. This has led to a number of shocking news reports, such as pretty British town where locals fear for their lives as teenagers carry machetes, and quaint town is a flea pit as drug dealers take over shops and machete-wielding teens run riot. Locals report they fear for their lives. How much truth is there behind the headlines?
I've been chased with knives and everything.
You've been chased with knives?
A lot of it is like stabbing, people carrying knives.
A couple of my mates have been set to outside like the corner.
So a lot of the reports that I've read, kids as young as 11 are dealing and carrying knives. Is that true? I've just parked up on the outskirts of Bridgwater.
Oh, so this town must have nothing going on. If they off the porch at 11 and 10 in the UK, normally it's like let me see.
I'm now heading into the town centre.
Like
it's about a 5-minute
the
walk.
average to jump off the porch in the UK is a little higher than that number. So that's early.
And as you can see behind me, there's an enormous abandoned building. I believe this once was the cinema. I think they've since replaced it and built a new complex just on the outskirts of the town. But you can see the size of this abandoned building here. Scott's Cinemas.
Try to make this my warehouse or something. Studio warehouse energy.
Looks like it's been out of action for a number of years now. Let's cross over the road and check out this abandoned cinema. You can see much of the paint is falling off the walls here. It's all got shutters on now. All of the windows are boarded up along the way. Bridgwater over the years has always been a bit rough around the edges, shall we say. But nothing like the reputation that it finds itself with today. It seems over the last 10 years there's been a huge spike in antisocial behaviour and crime taking place within Bridgwater. A quick Google search will reveal staggering numbers of articles relating to these incidents that take place here. Tell me, mate, what's it like then? I've read a lot of reports of antisocial behaviour.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of a troublemaking place, like. But I've been here my whole life, so I'm used to it, innit, so.
You're used to it?
You're talking about his whole life. You like 12, 13. You ain't even got no life yet.
Yeah, I've been chased with knives and everything.
You've been chased with knives?
Yeah, I'm alright though. I'm still, you know what I mean?
He's been a victim. I bet you he's not that victim anymore. That grew him up very quickly. Once you get chased or shot at one time, you gonna make sure you able to defend yourself. That's 80% true.
Still going?
Still going.
Does that not worry you?
Yeah.
Blimey, mate. I'll be honest with you, mate. I was no angel in Western.
Yeah.
And
Western's a place as well.
Yeah, Western's not a great place, mate. But it worries me that it's like normal to you. That's normal.
It's usual down Bridgwater because how many like stabbings there are.
Is there a lot?
You could tell he got his head on a swivel too. Shorty really watching his back. He outside, but he's very vigilant.
Is there? And a lot of the kids carrying knives?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Most
scary.
Most of the kids have been moved into care because they're all carrying.
Because they're all carrying? Shit.
See that abandoned building over there?
Yeah.
People go in there and everything.
Do they?
Yeah.
Why are they carrying knives on?
Because if they got beef with people, they try hurting them.
Ah, got you. Appreciate that. Knife crime in the UK has increased by 80% over the past.
A lot of people, I'm telling you, that's how it is, man. A lot of people have been victimized one time and they not never letting it happen again. A scary person to shoot or stab you swiftly. If they in fear, they'd let it go very quickly.
Past decade. This increase is reflected in a rise in the number of people admitted to hospital for knife-related injuries and loss of lives. Worryingly, under 18s are the most likely age group to lose their lives to a blade. You can see the rows of
My bad, I said negativity thumbnail. I was muted.
shops lining the outskirts of Bridgwater. Last year, over 2,300 violent incidents took place here in Bridgwater, and that's just the ones that were reported to police. Can you imagine the numbers that went unreported? Statistically, these numbers are more in keeping with an area found within a city centre, not a small market town. I've been joined by one of the locals here at Bridgwater. Boss, what can you tell me about what's going on with the youngsters?
Well, drug money. A lot of it is drugs, a lot of it is like stabbing, people carrying knives around this. What reason, mate? Why? But most of it is drug related.
Most of it's drug related. There's a huge number.
I'm trying to tell you what's the reason. It happened one time to them, and now everybody got that. You get victimized one time in one of these towns, or you have to live there, and you gotta see these people. I bet.
Number of reports in regards to the antisocial behaviour and carrying knives. And we're talking as young as like 12, 13
I also
years old.
think a lot of that is because kids don't get disciplined at school now or home. They can do that like respect, like, you know. When I was growing up, we got smacked for being naughty, like,
Right.
you know, and you got taught right and wrong. Whereas nowadays, there's none of that. There's no respect, no discipline, no. You can't do that because of this. Like, kids can get away with murder now.
Literally. It does seem there is no deterrent, is
No.
it? They might get caught with a knife and they do nothing.
Nothing comes of it, no. And the police are stretched, all council, everything is underfunded, everything is stretched, so you know, there's just no money for anything.
Thank you ever so much for your time
You're welcome,
today, mate. One problem that's hit the youth of Bridgwater hard is the county lines epidemic that's sweeping across the nation. County lines is where criminal groups and
I can imagine county lines out there is a little bit wild.
gangs from larger urban areas target small and medium-sized towns. Using a number of tactics, they persuade, coerce or force young and vulnerable people to store and transport substances, money and operate in other criminal activity. These gangs are highly organised criminal networks that use sophisticated, frequently evolving techniques to evade capture by the police. Bridgwater has got countless articles relating to the county lines issues taking place in this town, and it seems many of the youths are being sucked up into this gang lifestyle. The town hotel there. This video is brought to you by
That was so abrupt. Salute to Joe Fish for getting a manscaped. You know what I'm saying? I hope I can get me one soon. Until then, W promo. This is a good amount of the video.
Angel Place Shopping Centre. We'll take a wander in there in a moment. The Istanbul traditional Turkish barbers. But as you can see, so far, there is no closed down shops to be found in Bridgwater Town Centre. I have to say, on first impressions, Bridgwater looks alright. All of the shops are open, and it's not often I get to say that on my travels across the UK nowadays.
Facts, it do look decent. People outside actually frequenting the shops.
I'm now in the town centre of Bridgwater, and I just spoke to a local security guard who recognised me from the YouTube and informed me that there certainly is a huge problem with antisocial behaviour in the town, with many of the kids hanging around in gangs as young as 11, some of them getting caught with knives, shoplifting, substance abuse, selling drugs. The worrying thing is if this is what they're doing when they're 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, what are they going to be doing when they're 25? If they're already carrying knives at 11, 12, 13 and dealing in drugs, what is going to...
You know what's going to happen? But before then, they're going to be an intricate part of the system. They're going to go to that youth, young offenders, and if they don't straighten out in there, they're going to be a re-offending until they're like 25, 28. You know, it's going to be a vicious circle until they're felons.
going to come of this town in 10 years' time when those youngsters are men? As you can see, a very pretty town centre. Much of the shops are open. There's the odd one that is closed, but not many, to be fair. Oftentimes I go to towns around the UK and there's a serious lack of employment that leads to the issues that is found in those places, but not in Bridgwater. Bridgwater is an industrial hub within the county of Somerset. There's huge numbers of industrial estates that surround the town. There's plenty of factory work, plenty of construction work.
Honestly, it sounds like to me Bridgwater is like a town where all the young people are choosing negativity. It's not thrusted upon them. Like they ain't got no options or anything. They just choosing violence.
Work to be had. So employment doesn't seem to be the issue that's causing these problems with the youngsters.
This is one of them towns where drill music is just influenced them. Oh, I want to be like that. That's what it sounds like. Well, y'all got opportunities.
Over the last 14 years, we've seen unprecedented cuts to youth services across the nation. According to data from the YMCA, over the last decade, youth services in England have experienced significant funding cuts of approximately 73% or £1.2 billion, meaning a substantial reduction in available funding for youth programmes and initiatives. This has resulted in a significant decline in youth centres and youth workers across the country. Just walking through towards the end of the high street here in Bridgwater now, I believe. I think there's a row of shops that continues further down there. We'll head out that way. I will say there's...
Did I just see a grown man trying to catch a pigeon? Who are you? You think you Morpheus? Or is that's not Morpheus? Who catches the pigeon? That's the same guy who plays the guy with like what is it, Mad Max, the pigeon guy?
There's a very strong herbal smell in the high street here in Bridgwater. I think somebody's just walked past me blazing one up. Stonking the high street out.
It's astonishing that I haven't seen one person sleeping on the road or a tent or nothing.
On the main high, I may have spoke slightly prematurely in regards to the shops. Once you get about halfway down the main high street within Bridgwater, it certainly has a slightly different feel. As I said, there's a strong herbal smell in the air. You get stared out by people like that walking past you, and there is a number of closed down shops over the road in front of me. We'll head down those back streets now, find out what's down there. Many of the articles that I did read featured shopkeepers who are complaining about the rise in antisocial behaviour leading to a lack of business in the town centre. Is there any ties between this high antisocial behaviour and a cut in business for the business owners in Bridgwater? I can see a row of shops here next to the riverside in Bridgwater. Many of these were actually cafes and pubs, but it seems many of those now have been replaced with Turkish barbers, American nail bars and hair salons. I hate to ask, but it helps tremendously when you like
Entrepreneurship.
comment and subscribe. When I film content like this, I want it to go out to as wide an audience as possible, and with your help we can do that. Thank you.
100%, Joe. Okay, here we go.
So what can you tell me, mate? Is it as bad as they're saying?
Yeah, it is, like down Blake Gardens there in Bridgwater.
Oh, that's the park you told me to head down to in a minute.
Yeah, there's like people got stabbed down there, and there's like it's all the druggies down there.
And you look at the articles though, and they're like kids that are like 11, 12, 13, 14 years old.
Hey, a couple of my mates been set to outside like the corner with like.
So a couple of your mates have been set upon.
It was stupidity, like little gangs of kids, like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't hit them. Do you know what I mean? Like because they're too young, like. Do you know what I mean? So they get away with it. Like, do you know what I mean?
But yeah, I've read numerous articles about shoplifting, machetes.
Yeah, these gigs all the time, like. Do you know what I mean? Like, see them all the time, like. Yeah, way down by my way, like they rob the shops, like take steak and shit like that. It's not good, like.
You gotta go get them young YNs or YTs. I don't know.
Still part of it there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like the way it's set up out, like, do you know what I mean? Just make society collapse, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I can see another closed down shop here. The most recent data I could find revealed the proportion of proven offenders sentenced to custody for knife offences in 2023 was 28%. The average custodial sentence length for knife offences in 2023 was 7.2 months.
Oh yeah, you only given 7.2 months for knife offences in Bristol? Of course they're of course, they don't care. They don't take that serious. You go in there, serve 2 months, you out of there for a knife? My reward is higher than the risk. My reward is my life.
So what do you think is happening
It's probably the mindset.
to our towns and cities across the country? It's not just Bridgwater that's dealing with a huge spike in crime and antisocial behaviour. It seems to be happening in many of the towns and cities across the country. Let me know in the comments below. I'm now heading towards an area in Bridgwater known as Blake Park. This has been a hub for much of the antisocial behaviour and violent incidents that have been taking place in the town, with a number of stabbings being reported. We're heading to Blake Park now and find out. You can see the CCTV sign now.
Lake Park. That sounds very Chicago-like. I ain't even gonna lie.
So I'm now in the notorious Blake Park. You're a local of the town. What can you say about what's going on, mate?
Just a hit in this town, really, bro.
Bro got a Twix milkshake. I don't take him serious. We got a little Twix milkshake.
Hit and miss town.
Bro, it's just hit and miss. It's normal in that generation, bro.
Why do you think they are walking around with knives, and what do you think's leading them to do this?
Fuck knows, bro. Everyone's got a reason, I guess.
A lot of the reports that I've read are like kids as young as like 11, 12, 13, dealing and carrying knives. Is that true?
I don't know, bro. Obviously, I don't know. A lot of things get...
Bro's involved. He got a Mars Twix milkshake, but he's definitely involved. Bro got the Canada Goose, Louis belt. You know what I'm saying? Ripped jeans.
No, I mean...
Show his shoes.
Exaggerated, innit? So...
And that was part of the reason, really, mate, is to see how much truth there is behind the headlines.
But obviously, yeah, bro, it's so fucking... You get me? It's so...
Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Very traditional English park. You can see the bandstand there. Let's head this way.
He seemed cool, though. Don't... Hey, Joe. Joe.
See the underpass here at Blake Park.
Just take a look at it.
Let's head through.
Head through? You got your Glock on you? For me to walk through here, I need a Glock with a switch and a 50 round drum. I'm not doing that. I don't see no shadows. You might be good.
It seems I'm now heading towards a residential area of Bridgwater.
Oh, I still wouldn't have did it.
Many of the estates that surround qualify in the top percentile of deprived areas within the United Kingdom. Many of the children growing up in Bridgwater are doing so way below the poverty line. As you can see, there's lots of graffiti with the terrace rows of houses. Very typical residential area. But oftentimes, a lot of this starts at home, and a lot of the troubled individuals simply don't have anybody at home keeping them in line. It's almost like the parents don't care either. If the parents don't care and there's no deterrent at home, who cares what they do on the streets?
Yeah, man. You're supposed to lead a child up in the way they should go. You know what I'm saying? So if you spare that, if you don't punish them at home, what you think they're going to think is outside? They're going to think there's no punishment to anything they can do.
That's how they look at it.
I issue a timeout swiftly.
You can see the Guy Fawkes statue here in Bridgwater. Bridgwater is home of the carnival. Well, there you are. You heard it yourself from the residents of Bridgwater.
Hey, thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that. You be taking real chances. That little cave passage thing, it wasn't necessary, but you did it. You cut the camera. I don't know what happened, but you did it. Leave a like and comment.